with this, I would like to hand over the session to Julius Krishnan. Over to you.
Thank you, Sudhir, and thanks for hosting an amazing discussion. So, as always, wonderful to hear you, Professor Sharma. It's always a privilege to meet you. If I was in front of you, I would have done the Pavlavu, right? So, thank you so much for being around here. First and foremost, sir, I know you have been a trailblazer, even with 50 years of experience. You have been a trailblazer of change in the context of how to transform education, how to integrate technology, and how to bring all the things together in the context of an impact to the learner. And I've heard you speak very passionately about learning outcomes being not about jobs, but about upliftment of the society and the societal good. So very refreshing to hear that from you. So I just wanted to start with, the past 12 to 15 months that we all have been through, and the wonderful university that you lead, in terms of the sheer experiences that you had to change, both for your students and for your faculty, and how did you lead that?
Well, first of all, it's a great privilege and honor to be part of this great panel. And I also was hearing the previous speaker, such a great initiative by you, and we firmly appreciate that we have to now break the mold of what we call education or higher education in India. But breaking this mold in a manner that the new mold, the new normal, should inspire much bigger confidence, both in the learners, and it should inspire our teaching community also to utilize the best of the advantage which the technology creates. I think the coronavirus has been a blessing in disguise. For a very long time, our education sector was in a comfort zone, while the industry was, in fact, under the pressure of technology for a very long time. Since we work hand in hand with the industry, I think the time for education to change was also awaited. Now it has arrived. We are in the digital age now. The digital transformation is a reality. It needs to be acknowledged with head and heart and soul in the education sector. In our own Amity University, we were very conscious about utilizing what we call advantage digital for creating advantage education to create advantage India. And that is why long ago, in 2013 or 14, we took a conscious decision to digitize much of our processes, except that the education was still in the classroom, but much of this was being looked at from the point of view of utilizing advantage technology. So today, when we look at the task which we have in front of us, is to serve the new age learners. The new age learners, including my grandchildren, they are far better in learning compared to what I was in my days. I required in those days teachers who will tutor me, who will handhold me and walk through me almost on every single page of the textbook which was in front of me. Today, the new age learners have tremendous amount of appetite for learning, but by their own efforts, because technology enables what we call the interactive learning. And they are very much used to technology better than people like us. And therefore, I now call upon all the teaching community in the country, including my own university, where we must now recognize the new realities of this new normal, which we now have to embrace. The first new reality is that we are in the age of collaborative learning, learning from each other. Teachers and students have to learn together rather than thinking that I am here to teach my student. I have to go to the class and, in fact, open out my lecture by saying that how exciting the topic is, and I want to walk through this topic with you so that together we become much more wiser than what we were before coming to the class. We are also in an age where I think we need to excite the imagination of our student community beyond what really exists today. I and you do not know what kind of new technologies will emerge, say 3 or 4 years from now. And we have to prepare our students for the future, where much of the jobs have not been created yet. Much of the technologies are not visible. The new sciences are perhaps not understood at the moment, what we would require to trade and transact in tomorrow's world. And therefore, I think this is a great challenge before the education community, the universities in India. In our own Amity University, we are conscious of it. And that is why we are preparing our university to be future ready in terms of both the education as well as research and innovation, and a whole lot of integration of industry and internationalization that need to take place to ensure that our students who roll out from the campuses of our university, they walk with confidence and courage, but also the character of the kind
Yeah.
that is required, the attitude of the kind that is required to work tomorrow as global citizens, where they have to be behaving in a responsible manner with highest levels of personal integrity, professional morals, and commitment to create a sustainable future, and taking
Yes.
care not only of their own needs, but thinking that they are part and parcel of a society, of a nation, of a global community. And therefore, these caring concerns for self as well as for the society in my opinion, now have become more important. And that is why the integration of education with universal human values, developing our own students, not merely as skilled and professionals of tomorrow's world, but great human beings along with great capabilities to create a new, bright, and sustainable future. That is exactly the charter with which now we have to look at this new digital transformation that is taking place in education. Somebody may
So
ask me
I'll
how you go about doing it in digital mode. It was all right
yeah,
when you were face to face, you could imbibe many values.
correct.
But these are the challenges we have to now understand and respond to.
I actually wanted to pick on that, and the emerging concept when we say that, of course, the students today are missing out on the campus experience, which is part and parcel of, right? One is the camaraderie that they build lifelong relationships. And then, of course, the personal mentoring of teachers, which is the most invaluable piece, which you miss in a completely digital world. But in the scenario that is emerging, people are talking about blended concepts. It will probably never go back to, classroom only mode. In the context of a blended learning, right? I'm looking at a few dimensions of blending. One is, of course, the very pedagogy. How would that world look like? The second aspect of blending is in the context of curriculum, the ability to bring, with technology, to bring global educators available to students anywhere in the world in any campus, right? It's a powerful ability to bring that. And then, of course, the third blending is in the context of what you teach along in the context of human values and societal development. Maybe I would love to hear these three blends in the emerging world and how you see that emerging.
I think blended learning is a must, in my opinion. As you have rightly said, these are 3 or 4 layers of blending. First of all, in the classroom itself, we are preparing our classrooms of today where we could facilitate what I have been often calling team teaching. What this team
Okay.
teaching means that not only the teacher who has been assigned to teach that particular subject interacts with the students in the class, but he also invites a whole lot of guest faculty from the industry, from the world of research, from the world of work, to interact with our students. And therefore, the course is to be delivered by the joint effort of very many people. Some of them would be physically present in the classrooms, others would be connecting through digital mode like you and I are connected. At the same time, I think the whole methodology of delivering the classroom lecture need to change. Our purpose has to be create greater interest and inspire them to create a greater insight into the subject matter so that they themselves become interested in learning more about the context in which that subject is particularly being delivered. So that is where a whole lot of integration with the industry experts as well as experts from the R&D organizations as well as with the peers who may have retired, but they have tremendous amount of knowledge. We could bring them in between to throw a few set of lectures to inspire the student community further. And we need to talk more and more about future in the classroom. And therefore the learning the second part of blending is beyond the classroom. Beyond the classroom, we have to create opportunities of blended learning whereby they learn by forming small groups in the company of their own teachers and also in the company of the persons with whom they could connect through modern digital technology. I remember my own experience in Delhi College of Engineering, where I asked my student to design and develop a future generation aircraft. We were not having aeronautics as a subject in our university, but much of the avionics and much of the electronics associated with it, they learned it by connecting to the peers of knowledge in another university within India as well as from abroad. So students have a great connect, in my opinion, the capability to connect with the people, right people, and we need to facilitate that. And that is why in our blended learning environment, much of the learning beyond the classroom need to be. And the third most important part is that let us not remain confined only to a set curriculum which only looks at the capabilities of our students for tomorrow's work. I think we have to understand that universities are not merely to create the workforce of tomorrow. They are here to create the noble human beings who would not only create work for themselves and work for others, but also would be highly responsible and capable citizens of a new world. And that is where I think we need to provide a space in the curriculum for learning, both in the classroom as well as through blended learning, with the people who matter, who can inspire your confidence to think that you are a human being and you have a promise to deliver to whoever has created. I have come here not merely to become a vice chancellor, but to leave behind a better world than the world I have received from my forefathers. It is with that kind of concept and conviction we need to prepare the students of our graduates of tomorrow. And I think that's a charter where a lot of now this digital transformation has opened infinite opportunities of connecting people, learning from each other, creating blended environment of learning, and also, in fact, learning much more in a short possible time. What I could learn in 5 years of engineering, today my students can learn, in fact, given the chance, just in 3 years. That's the time in which we are. I'm not a person who would say make 5 years or 6 years. Today you have to compress 5 years to 3 years because the younger generation is restless to learn, and they want to learn fast and quickly get down to their work of innovation and translating their ideas into prototypes, and they want to give rise to startups, and all that requires really what we call speed learning. So not merely deep learning, but speed learning. And that is, we have to really take on board in this new mold for education, the deep learning, learning beyond the classroom, hands-on learning, but more than that, speed learning, so that you are in a position to create the community of highly inspired, capable people, responsible citizens of this global world in a short period of time for which this whole education is important. Let me finish by saying that in my own university, we are looking at how to be future ready. And we are looking at how can we really now talk of smartness in a campus, much bigger, much better than what we have talked earlier. And therefore, our focus at the moment is to design Amity University, Haryana as a smart campus, whereby the advantage technology as well as advantage connectivity and advantage connectivity of mind could be translated into creating a smart workforce of tomorrow, empowered and equipped with not only the current but future technology, and also at the same time having the attitude of the kind that the world requires. So the smart campus design has begun, and we would like to ensure that smartness enters into all corners of our university, including the minds of the faculty, the classroom, the laboratory, the research centers, the administrative setup, as well as, in fact, the whole lot of services that we mount. This will also create responsible citizens, in my opinion. When we are being watched, when we are being looked at, we perform well. I put up the tie because I thought I must present myself nicely before you. I know that many people are listening to me, therefore every word has to be articulated and properly presented. So that is that way you shape individuals to conform to the requirements of the day and work and behave in that direction. So the smart campus concept is something which we are working on. I had a few slides, but I don't know whether the time is right or not. But we will share with you whenever you require. I have got 3, 4, just 1 or 2 slides. If you like, I can just quickly throw in. But I know 3:45 is already there. But just have a look at 1 or 2 if you can quickly, if you possible, share screen. And I go here. Chinti jara idhar aao, jaldi jaldi come. My younger, maybe my grandson can help me better. Where the slides are, window like this. This one here. Okay. Go to the slide which go to my screen if you can. Yeah, there you are. The children, see, the younger ones can share much better. Can you see now anything on the screen? Quick. If it is there.
Yes.
There we are. We are about to see. And please do thank him for joining us today. It's wonderful to see a youngster come into this panel.
The 5 pillars of a smart campus.
Oh, you will have to go back to and stay on the slide. Yeah, I think yes. We are able to see. We are able to see the slides. I think you can go ahead here.
But Chinti, do I have my microphone is on or not?
Yeah, we can hear you, sir.
Can hear. That's perfectly fine. So these are the 5 pillars of a smart campus: smart, intelligent infrastructure, smart students and innovative technologies, they should be innovative as well as technology powered. Then only you are a smart student. Smart teaching and research, smart and effective operations, and smart and positive outcomes. Great gains would be on the operational efficiency, smart and intelligent education, smart research, smart administration, and rolling out innovative and inspired minds from the faculty which we require. This is how the whole process will begin from the main gate of the campus, but it could even begin the minute you board my buses from the city, and I know who has boarded, who is coming. The classroom, the class teacher would know who is coming, and after entering the campus, we all would know where you are. And the whole lot of process is automated, including the green practices, the e-libraries and administrative services. Smart classrooms would really ensure that much of the connectivity and blended learning and environment that we provide. And there you are, the smart campus outcomes will drive tremendous amount of positive outcomes, fostering a smart, innovative work engagement, fostering data-centric, artificial intelligence-driven digital culture, and it will impact positively on student behavior, make them responsible and future-ready. It will prepare students with an insight-driven path towards their educational goal, not only just knowing what the subject matter is, but they will have a great insight to utilize the knowledge which they have for translating their dreams into reality. It will empower faculty to have positive interactions, leverage new interactive learning methods by using digitally augmented reality and virtual reality technology. It will improve operational efficiency and benefit industry and community greatly. And it will also provide sustainable solutions for improving the socio-ecological aspects of the surrounding communities and regions. Smart and intelligent university campuses are an assurance of a green, blissful, and insightful, bright future for the humanity. That is something which we all together are committed to create for our future generation. I thought I must put this before you before I finish. I must thank you very much for the opportunity.
Thank you, Professor Sharma, and it was wonderful to hear this. And I'll say, in the context of blending, I would say maybe one of the important things is to blend smartness into people so that they remain lifelong learners, so that in this new world, what you have today is no longer going to be relevant in about 5 years' time. So you need to be constantly a student all the time. So learnability, and you spoke about speed learning. I will use probably a slightly variation of that word called learning agility. I think that's something that people would need to pick up and for the lifetime. So thank you so much. Wonderful speaking with you.
Me to make a statement. People
Sure.
say that learning begins with life and learning finishes with life. But people like me say that learning begins before life, before you come on this earth, as well as it continues beyond life. And that is why our forefathers said, Swadhyaya na pramaditavyam, never relent from self-study. That is the command of the Vedas from Tetri Upanishad. They were very conscious that much of the learning need to be assimilated by self-effort, and that time has come now, both for the teachers as well as for the student community.
And tools are available today.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Absolutely,
Thank you so
sir. It's been an absolute pleasure, Dr. Sharma ji, for joining us and sharing those views. We're happy that Amity University across the country have various campuses, and it is moving towards smart campus design. I can see the future, how right from starting entry at the gate and various stages, people can be tracked, and various things can be monitored from one place. And at the same time, Coursera is doing its job by enabling tech studies through its various initiatives. And we proudly present this certificate of appreciation to one of the leaders of education in India, Professor P.B. Sharma, Vice Chancellor, Amity University, Haryana, Gurugram, for his dedicated efforts and exemplary work in education. Thank you very much, sir, for joining us. And also thanks, Mr. Krishnan, for moderating this session.
See you. I'll see you sometime later. Thank you.